I keep telling you, I don't want to kill anybody. I just don't care if you die.
Yes. I like it.
You're listening to the Funkatronic Rex podcast, where a few self-proclaimed piratical nerds running a friendly local game store discuss the board, card, and tabletop gaming community they love and serve. We tend to be the goofy, gregarious, and non-grindy gaming geeks of the community. Welcome. Folks, thank you so much again for joining us at the Funkatronic Rex podcast. My name is Court. We are here in Funkatronic Rex recording Funkatronic Rex. I'm your host with the most, and I run a lot of our community and event stuff, and I get paid to have the greatest job in the world. I work at a game store. I play games with you. I teach you games, and I organize games, and I talk on a podcast. And to my left, I have my man,
Michael,
what do you do here?
I sell you things.
That's right, you do. That's right. Yeah, but so much more, as we always say. Glad to have you, as always. Yeah. To my right, of course, you know him, you love him. We got to meet his dad last episode. Who do we got?
I'm Mike. I don't have a fancy nickname for myself this time.
No? But your shirt says a lot, which is
my
great.
shirt is fantastic today. And
I'm just going to say it for the listeners. Ska and pro wrestling are the only legitimate forms of art.
So I I lost, rather. This was my Sacco punishment. This is the light part of my Sacco punishment for being worst in our fantasy football draft league that I play in. And this is a very light punishment. I'm a little frightened that the punishment they're throwing around is I have to recreate a music video of an NFLer who also has a hip-hop career. I don't know who this guy is, but like he's got a hip hop career, I guess, on the side, and he throws essentially a diss track to his ex, so like about their divorce. Oh so this is going to be, that's most likely going to be my Sacco punishment. It'll be great.
And we'll throw that on Patreon.
If it happens, you'll see it.
It'll be right with Alex's music video.
Like we'll record a 1-2 punch of music videos.
Man. We'll have our own like TRL, like we can see who wins the battle of the videos that week. Oh man. Yeah. Well, Mike's in the house, the Salt Father, as you guys know him, know and love him. And then across from me, we've got someone I was gonna say like a store celebrity, if you will. Someone who has been with us for a while and is very special, a great friend, and someone who really is spearheading a community and a specific game within the shop. We've got Hiroko. Hiroko in the hot seat.
Yeah, let's go.
Where's our funnel? There it is. Oh! Thank you, Hiroko. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah. So, Hiroko, you are the DM squared, as we've said in previous episodes.
Yeah, you guys have really used that title.
For those of you guys who do not know Hiroko, she heads up our Adventurers League in D&D. So the Adventurers League for D&D Tuesday nights starts about 5:30, and we've got right now I think 5 full tables going, but every week I have new people coming up to us wanting to join in. So, Hiroko, tell us a little bit about your role with the shop, D&D, and Adventurers League. We're going to get into your full story later, but just give us a little hint.
I'm the sucker that does this for free. For the love of the game.
Yes.
Yeah. D&D is in my blood and soul.
Yeah. And so you've led Adventurers League with us for how long now?
Since the beginning of 22.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
And
right
I don't
around
think
January.
that
I think
gives it enough credit.
No.
I feel like you've built years of vibe and community in only 2. Like, much more energy and effort put in than the time would speak to.
Energy says a lot too, Mike. I think that's spot on. Tuesday nights are so full of energy, even though everybody's just engrossed in their table and their specific game and the campaign they're playing with D&D. It's probably my favorite night to work here. It's just constant energy, screaming at each other, yelling when a nat 20 happens, yelling when someone's about to die, whatever it is. Like, I just kind of go around every now and then and just eavesdrop on tables. Tends to be fun, but
most of them you can eavesdrop from across the store, though. So,
yeah, exactly. Well, we'll get into a little bit more of D&D, Adventurers League, and Hiroko, your specific story. But thank you for being here. As we mentioned before, we've got a Patreon. So we've got a fun couple tiers that we always mention. One is, Michael, do you want to yell this one out?
$1 billion.
$1 billion. Give us $1 billion. The store is yours, and we'll even throw in Michael, possibly Alex.
Oh, that's rough. Some indentured servitude in there too.
Fine, we'll give you Alex.
I mean, hey,
How about we give you Court?
I'm fine. For $1 billion, you get me. That's fine.
all right.
I mean,
you heard it
hey,
here first.
yeah. If that
The
entices
ultimate
Zuckerberg
patron.
even more, that's fine.
I can see Court as somebody's baby boy.
I'm honored, I think. Yeah. So we've got a Patreon. One of the tiers is $1 billion, of course. Give us $1 billion. We'll give you the store. It's all yours and me. We also have Funkatronic Family. So for a monthly subscription at the end of a year of subscribing and supporting us, we're going to give you a fun care package of goodies. Could be merch, games, a bunch of swag. We might even include a Men of Funk calendar. We're definitely going to include hard copies of Mike's music video, like a signed DVD, and Alex's music video, signed DVD. And just some rad game stuff, fun Funkatronic Rex, store-related things. And we're also going to start releasing some content. I was talking to Alyssa, who's going to head up our social media and marketing. And we're going to start releasing some Patreon-exclusive content. Could be Q&As, could be After Dark episodes, could be... Uh-oh.
I thought it was Pirate Mouth now. After Dark.
No way, baby. We're going to get it going. Could be, maybe just a signed picture of Michael combing his fro. We don't know. Could be. But either way, we're going to throw some fun stuff at you guys. So thank you to all of our patrons at Patreon, and thank you guys for supporting us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Actually, Hiroko was the first, I think. You were the first patron. Yes.
It was really funny for me because everybody was like, first on YouTube and first on Spotify. And I was just like quietly putting in my card number. And I was like, I'm the one that matters.
You're the one. Yes.
She gets it.
Which is funny because not only are you doing this for free, you're paying us to do
I
this.
know. Oh, God, that hurt me so bad.
No. We're definitely going to kick some fun, cool things your way, for sure. But thank you to all of our patrons and all of you guys that just listen as well. We're glad to be in your car, on your stereo, wherever you're listening. If you're painting or if you're clipping crazy bits like Mike is right now and gluing plastic pieces just at random.
Haphazard.
Yeah. Just very very haphazard.
It's going to look great when it's painted and green stuffed. Yeah. Green stuffed and painted. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. So news and upcoming, just a few things to highlight that we had going on in the shop here. We had a fantastic Lord of the Rings, the card game day yesterday. We had 4 full tables going of Lord of the Rings, the LCG. I did a little bit of some deck teching, some deck building, some like pointers and tips. Was really fun with John and Emerson. Larry and his family came down for his birthday. Happy birthday, Larry.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Woo. And we had 2 other full tables going and struggling against certain quests, but I think everybody ended up winning at some point, maybe minus John and Emerson. They got slapped down a little bit in the fellowship. But we had a potluck. It was fantastic. Thank you guys for everybody coming out and supporting Lord of the Rings, the card game. We're going to have another one next month. I haven't announced it yet specifically on the date, but we'll get there. We also had our Whispers from the Deep kickoff. That was our 40K campaign that we kicked off a couple weeks ago, and it was fantastic. I do want to say a big thank you to everybody that came out. Our spots filled so quick. We only had 16 spots available, and before the store even opened, we had people lined up outside. We had a line and a group of people ready to go, ready to sign up and play outside. We had 16 spots, and we even, thank you, Mike, big shout out to you. Thank you for accommodating another table. Mm-hmm. We even took the Battletech table. and gave us 2 extra spots. So we went to 18 and we were still full. And I had the excitement of seeing people get really, really into and wanting to be part of this event, but also the sadness of having to unfortunately turn away a few of you guys that were here and did not get a chance to sign up in time. For those of you guys who did not, thank you so much for coming out. I sincerely apologize that you weren't able to get in time on this, but we're going to have some fun games coming up in between the days for the campaign. Please come down. Let's get some games going. I greatly appreciate your guys' interest in this. This was a labor of love for me to create this, and so I'm very excited to share it with everybody. And those of you guys that are in the campaign, hold on to your butts because things are about to get wild. And I'm going to give some lore updates as we go through, but it's going to be very fun. So stick around. What is? Oh my gosh!
Oh, I'm
That's
doing
so
it.
good.
I'm doing it.
So, Mike, can you just say what you're doing right now? Because this is definitely worthy.
I'm kitbashing Chaos Armiger Knight, the Little Knights, and I just realized how perfectly a giant foot fits on an Armiger leg to where I don't even have to. That's just like glue
That's
and
it.
a little bit of green stuff, and that is beautiful.
So it's literally robot chicken legs, kind of. And then on the left one, he's got a giant's foot from Age of Sigmar flush on there. Like it is
Perfect.
working perfectly.
Perfect.
It's kind of grossing me out.
It's awesome.
It's the most beautiful
And we're going to snap a
abomination.
picture and put it on the podcast.
It's like something out of Toy Story.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yes.
oh, it's terrifying.
But
This
did
is
you
the-
just
the
say we're
neighbor
going to
kid.
post feet pics?
Yeah. Weird. No, this is...
Plastic feet pics.
I'm very satisfied with how well that just like magically, oh, look, it fits.
Yeah. Okay, we're definitely going to post that. Oh, gosh. That's definitely Toy Story worthy.
That's terrifying
it is.
in all the best ways. I can't wait to just put a bunch of like bulbous flesh bits. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
That's I feel like that's like something you wouldn't expect to find in the 40K universe, right? You're regular guardsman, you're shooting down a regular demon, and then you just athlete's foot walks in and steps on the guy next to you.
Yeah, that's Battle Shock worthy right there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we have a shindig coming up.
We're
Mike.
having a party.
We're having a party.
We're having a party.
We had fun with the last one. We got to do another one.
There's some of that, and 4th of July is tied for my favorite holiday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
New Year's is number one?
It's tied. They're tied.
Oh, they're okay. I was thinking New Year's is the one I know at least.
New Year's is definitely like my go-to favorite because everybody celebrates it. But 4th of July, you still get the explosions in the sky,
Good band.
people, food,
Yeah.
all the good stuff, right? It's summertime, baseball's
Baseball.
on. Like I'm
Yep.
all about it. And I used to throw a yearly 4th of July party when I lived in LA. And I got a wild hair. Like, I miss the 4th of July party. So we're
Yeah.
throwing a 4th of July party.
Sweet.
It's called the...
I'm going to move your mic up closer for this.
No. I got this. This is the 71st with a 7, then like a slash, then a 1 ST. 71st
Okay.
question mark annual. No, 71st annual question mark. Funkatronic Rex, 4th of July, Frogtown Get Down.
Frogtown Get Down.
Okay?
What?
Yes. All of the above. It's the 71st. It's a reboot. It would be the 7th, but it's a reboot.
Oh, I
so it's
see
the
now.
first.
I see. Okay.
71st.
71st.
Question mark.
Yeah.
71st annual. We're doing it this year, 4th of July. Save
Boom.
the date. If you're in town,
I mean, it's July 4th, right?
it's a Thursday.
Is it really?
It's a Thursday.
These aren't right.
This is-
Don't
okay.
like this yet. We got to switch
but
this.
no, 4th of July is a Thursday.
Okay.
It's like such a weird, like, that's
That's
not
like a
party.
3-day weekend then.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's not a party
Hold on,
day,
it's a
but we're
4-day
going to
weekend.
party.
Yeah.
And there's going to be fun stuff.
Sweet.
That's it. We're going to leave it at that.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. Good. Frogtown Get Down?
The Frogtown
The
Get Down.
Frogtown Get Down.
Reboot.
Reboot.
I'm excited. There'll be pineapple.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pineapple is intrinsic to the operation of a proper 4th of July.
Of just 4th of July party in general or the Frogtown Get Down?
Frogtown Get Down.
Okay.
Must involve pineapple.
Do we want to talk about the origins of the name yet, or do we want to tease that later?
That's later.
That's later. Just stick with us and you'll learn more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Frogtown Get Down, 4th of July.
I'm
Come
excited.
party with the funk.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
If it's like anything like last time, you guys, it's legend, the parties around here. Especially because of the amount of food you guys put out. We were like, there's like 5 different types of cupcake when we were last time. And we were like, what?
Barbecue,
Yes.
cooking all day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
If I get my druthers, which it's a party that I'm
You
going
will.
to get what I want.
Yeah.
Barbecue all day. Bring an appetite. Be ready to party.
Do it.
Easy.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's move forward into some hobby highlights. We're gonna jump into this. I'm gonna kick this off because I'm really excited about this one. This is one I've teased a little bit. I'm in. Mike, thank you so much. And Kasner, thank you so much. I'm into Battletech.
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's a good game.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I got it. And I got my first game in, thanks to you, Mike. I played Kasner, big shout out. I had so much fun. And I was very intimidated at first, but I jumped in. I really like Alpha Strike, and I'm excited.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's accessible. Would that take? A learning game, an hour and a half?
Hour and a half, yeah. And the last 20 minutes was us just jumping around, kind of playing chess of like who's going to get in the worst position. But no, it was great. So thank you. I am
Very welcome.
Clan Star Adder. I'm excited. It's good. So we'll find more of that, and I'll reveal a little bit of what's going on with my gaming as far as BattleTech goes later on. But
He's not going to be undefeated in this one.
I'm 1-for-1 right now. I'm 1-0. Yeah,
With my list.
Yeah. So I'm in BattleTech. Very cool. We're gonna be playing Wednesday nights, guys. Come out, play BattleTech with us Wednesday nights. Come out. Michael, what do you got going on? Hobby highlight.
You know, I hate to say this, but not much.
Oh man.
Truthfully, though, not much.
Okay.
I have.
Well, you're in summer mode right now. Like you're in vacation.
Yeah,
mode,
he just
kind
got
of.
done like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to do something adult and graduate, as opposed to some of us, me. And so he gets to chill now.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I've had hobby highlights for like most days of like the last 4 years that I've been doing this.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you should have asked me then, Court.
We should have had the podcast 4 years ago. Jeez.
Get with it.
2020 pandemic podcast. That would have been.
There was a lot of people starting them back then. Yeah. It was kind of the thing for a little bit. But we'll find you a highlight. I'm sure once AOS 4 comes out.
Yeah, and that's truthfully it. Like once AOS 4 comes out, you know, obviously a new game, rules, new army rules. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to get much Star Wars Unlimited going just because supply non-existent right now.
Well, it's going. You guys are playing. Like you get a solid amount of people playing.
Yes, no. I shout out to the Sunday crew because everybody's super solid. They all are understanding about hey, we can't control that we don't have boxes to sell you or packs to sell you or whatnot, but we're trying to make the best of it.
Yeah, it's been good. Got to see some folks play today. Cool. Right on. Mike, you're in the middle of hobbying, as always.
So I've got a massive pile of shame, as you do when you've got the ADD. And I've got a lot of knights. I had a very frustrating moment with my Chaos army. So I decided I'm going to go back to knights and finish those because I don't know. I think I like the hobbying converting part more than I like anything else. Like I don't really, painting feels like work that I'm not good at. And playing the game also feels like work that I'm not good at, but melting plastic together and dripping glue all over my fingers seems like all the fun.
It's art.
I mean, yeah, I'm in art mode right here.
Yeah.
But it's fun melting plastic and just bending things until they do what you want.
Which I have to say, and this is I'm going to do mini store lore. Remember when you melted the base of your knight?
Look, that was your bad idea.
So Hiroko,
I was there for that.
Were you there for that? That's what I thought, maybe. Yeah. So Mike had this base for a knight, right? It was a knight.
It was a Forge Fiend, and the Forge Fiend was like finished painting. Everything about this Forge Fiend was done, and I had like kit bashed a cool base for it, like with some scenic, like some bits from terrain. Oh, this is sweet. Why was it I had like glued it to another one or no, that's what I ended up doing to fix it.
But it was a little warped or something.
It was like I was trying to get the hand to fit properly.
Yeah, I think it was just to get it like
it wasn't quite grabbing, so it was like loosey goosey, wouldn't quite have a glue point.
Right.
So I was like, let me try and melt this with the heat gun.
Well, you said like, hey, Corey, like, what would you do with this? And I was like, oh, just get the heat gun at it a little bit or something like you've got a heat gun, right? Yeah. And that was it. Off he went. Boom.
It was funny because like we tested it with a gene stealer first because I think it was we were going to melt a gene stealer so it could like
right.
so it could that's where like the hand goes and then it's like stable, and then Mike just kept going.
He fucking blasted it like it was a hairdryer.
Hey, I fixed it.
It was good.
It just took more melting of plastic.
Yeah.
You know?
It was
Much more
complete.
glue.
It was legitimate complete. He just had to glue it on the base.
Yeah, I added like 2-3 more hours of work to fix the model that was like, hey, if I just base this, I'm done. Look at this though. Look at this heel.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Yeah,
That's going to be so
gross.
rad. It's going to be so rad. It's a giant hunk. I can't wait till it steps on the... So I'm going to model it with something like an Asha Militarum, a guard under its
like
foot.
getting crushed. Yeah. We'll get out the heat gun.
He was so mad. And he was so mad at you was the thing.
Yeah. Why did you tell me to do this?
3 weeks later, I was still hearing you getting shit for it.
I was like, I didn't say hold it on there for like 30 seconds.
They can't all be good ideas.
No. I will take some blame on that. That's good. So Mike's gluing plastic to plastic, making one of the grossest models I've seen in a long time. And then Hiroko, hobby highlight. What do you got going on? What are you working on?
Well, mainly I'm working on a commission right now.
That's right. You are a commission painter. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I've seen your work and it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now, that entire tub, I'm only on the second piece, and I'm like getting a little frantic with myself.
This is Kasner's tub that you and I picked apart some things. Okay. Yeah. Terrain is tough. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Terrain is tough to paint. Yeah.
Yeah, just because oh God, there's more of it. Mm-hmm. It's just unending.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's where I went wrong with the first piece is I spent far too much time on the detail work. And I was just like,
and now you
I need to let it go.
You set the bar too, because now all of it has to be to that caliber.
I was like, oh, they have to match.
Yep.
But on my off time right now, well, I mean, I dabble a little bit in everything, but usually on my off time, I'd say I spend the most time making D&D props a lot.
Yeah, what is this you have in front of you right here?
This
looks like...
Because we're running Curse of Strahd right now, is the Tome of Strahd.
It looks like the opening of Murder, She Wrote mixed with the Necronomicon. Yeah, tell us about, first off, give us just a little taste of Curse of Strahd for those folks that don't know Curse of Strahd, Ravenloft, D&D. Just give us a little bit of the flavor.
Ravenloft is the quintessential gothic horror adventure. It is one of the originals that Tracy Hickman and his wife wrote.
Okay.
And basically was one of the big ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's carried through for years and stuff, and they've just updated it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And so this is the tome? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is passages and things in the adventure to help you fight Strahd, the big bad, right? Mm-hmm.
Who's basically Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that they're supposed to find early on. My current party skipped that entirely. Okay. And so they're a little bit on the we're screwed side.
Oh.
Yeah. But I have full faith they can find it.
Sure.
And there is a actual novel called Strahd.
I've read it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am taking
written
bits
from
Strahd's point of view.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so it gives you a little bit more heart and feeling towards him.
Wait, did you say heart?
Mm-hmm.
You could sit.
Isn't he a vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel empathetic reading this novel.
Michael and I just looked at each other like, you do. I don't feel good for the bad guy.
No, you do. A little bit.
Yeah.
Lost
and so
love.
I'm taking the bits from the adventure, which is the intro part. Mm-hmm. And then the bigger project for me, which is just not, it's not going to happen in its totality, I'm sure, but I'm copying down Istrad itself into the book.
The entire book?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
And that way, when they find it, it is the actual tome.
And you're hand writing this?
Yeah.
That counts as reading it like 2 more times, right?
Easily. Yeah. Holy shit.
It's impressive.
Well, I've always done like calligraphy and stuff. So
Yeah, it shows. It looks really good.
it works well with it, I think.
Wow.
And it's cool because in the novel itself, it gives a description of this unassuming tome where there's no embellishments. It's just ink on paper. But the outside of it is supposed to be made of human skin.
Classic.
Yeah. And so I spent a good long while searching for something appropriate. So I want to make it worth it.
Cool.
So when we look at your Google history and we find how to make a book look like it's made of human skin, we don't have to worry.
The human skin near me.
Sorry to disappoint, but it was just an Amazon purchase.
Hey, you can get anything on Amazon now.
Yeah, that's the problem. Now I'm getting all sorts of things recommended to me around. It's like,
What's the algorithm think of that? She was looking for human skin.
You gotta hit them with the serial killer algorithm. There it is. Yeah, it looks rad. If you guys haven't read Istrad, I think it's PN Elrond. Yeah, fantastic book. Very cool. So that is a big hobby highlight, and that's a really cool project. And let's just keep up with that throughout your progress. Let us know. We'll take pictures and we'll share them.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it looks really cool. Sweet. That's some dedication too,
Truth.
which we'll get into again in your interview here. But yeah, that's some dedication to as a DM. So big ups to you. Yeah, moving into on a Nat 20, just some fun updates of what we've shanghaied people into doing. Mike, you tried to hit me the other night.
Man, it was such a good idea, and of course
was.
I whiffed.
Yeah.
I was going for Court has to clean the fish tank for the rest of the year.
I don't even know how to do that.
Well, you'd learn. Too bad I whiffed.
Is this? Yeah, I was a little nervous on that one because I'm assuming it involves like the magnet erasery thing, and I got to stick my hand in the water or something. I don't know.
Stick your hand in the water.
Okay.
High-tech solution.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cleaning algae. Put your hand in, scrape it. That's what it comes down to.
That's what my doctor said. I had to. Oh, gosh. So Mike tried to hit me with that. Michael, did you have any that you attempted or landed?
Nothing recently.
Nothing recently? No. Hiroko, have you hit any of these yet on a Nat 20? So for those listeners who don't know, we roll a D20. On a Nat 20, this happens. Boom. It's law. Got to do it. Locked in. What have you tried any?
Not locked in.
What do you mean?
We found some exceptions, all right?
You get one pass, right? You get one pass.
I didn't even know that was it, but yes.
Yeah,
in that case, I have used my one pass.
Yeah,
You're good.
so there it is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can get one free pass, and then if the other person has the rebuttal, so you roll something like, "Oh, Hiroko on a Nat 20, you got to wear a T-shirt of my face on it for the next month or something like that." It hits Nat 20, boom. You got to do it. You get a rebuttal. You get something. But if I roll it and it doesn't Nat 20, but it gets like a 12 or something, your rebuttal, you say, Court, on a Nat 20, you got to shave your head. You also get a 12. The ruling now is if we tied on something that doesn't hit 20, a neutral third party comes in, rolls the D20. If it 20s, both of those things happen.
I must have missed some crucial updates in this
that's
game.
an
Yeah,
update.
that's new to me.
I think the past month. That's
Seems
what
like
we've
way
done.
too much work. On a Nat 20, boom, no. All right, well, too bad.
If it tied, yeah.
The
My goal for this, and I'm sorry to everybody that's listening right now, y'all just lost the game because
I didn't.
You're fucking playing, Mike. I'm telling you.
I'm really not.
But my goal is for on a Nat 20 to become the game. Like everybody's just playing it like different countries. Oh, on a Nat 20 this, and then here's your fun little house rules for how we do it. But everybody on a Nat 20, spread the love. And I'm sorry you just lost the game. There you go.
We're still waiting on you, Court. Because I never rolled a Nat 20, but my rebuttal was that you come and join us.
That's right. Okay. Tell the listeners about what the fun rebuttal was that I'm actually really excited for.
I don't even know what you had put up. I think it was that I joined Warhammer.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
And I had said in return that if you rolled it, that you were going to come join us for Curse of Strahd.
Mm-hmm.
And you did. And so I think the decision was that you were going to come in as Strahd.
Yeah. It started out as an NPC. Like, oh, you'll just be an NPC. Uh-huh. And I think you said, no, you're going to be Strahd. Uh-huh. Oh, I'm so excited. Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll be cool. So, yeah, I will have to be Strahd at some of these tables, and I'm very excited and honored. So thank you.
I have to ask, in Curse of Strahd, are all the monster rules like the typical like monster rules? Can I kill a vampire with a stake through the heart or like sunlight?
It's a good question.
All the normal, like does it see a reflection? Can it turn into a bat, a wolf, all that?
So here's the cool thing that I love about this. They kept some of it.
Okay.
And some of it is bullshit. Okay. And so you have to find out as you're fighting minor vampires what works and what doesn't.
Okay.
And I thought that was such a great idea because even in the world of Forgotten Realms, vampires are something of myth and legend. And so fighting that myth and legend and figuring out for yourself under life and death circumstances of what works and what horribly, horribly doesn't.
Does it vary per vampire? Like, well, this vampire is affected by sunlight. This one isn't. This one you can throw a bunch of toothpicks down. You know, they have to count them.
That's my favorite vampire thing that nobody knows about.
Yeah, they have to count them, or if they're really good like Rain Man, they just know.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's one of the old folklore things from you sprinkle grains at your doorstep, and they have to sit there counting. And I think that was a Fey rule of.
Man,
yeah,
that's the real curse of Strahd, is that he has to. He is the count. 1, 2, 3. Man, but does it vary per vampire, or is it all just?
Yeah. So there's different ones now. There's different vampires now. In Curse of Strahd, it's a little bit more uniform, but the weaker vampires obviously have more weaknesses, whereas Strahd himself, there's exceptions.
Okay.
And you have to find out what those exceptions are.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. He can walk outside in the sun. He's like one of these Twilight dudes. He just starts sparkling. He's like, what? I'm not scared.
Oh, my dear sir. He controls the land.
Oh, what the what? He just
is,
makes a cave like form around him as he's walking.
There is never true sunlight does not exist in Barovia.
What?
Because he is the ancient. He is the land. Oh. He is the land itself. So his will literally shields this place from true sunlight.
Jeez.
So he can roam where the hell he damn well pleases.
Okay,
you know what? That makes him a little cooler because I know I'm sure we were gonna have like some sort of like Q&A, ask you questions.
Yeah,
and I was gonna bring up the fact I don't play D&D, so this is a good like showcase of like, hey, I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but like when I think about, hey, cool, you're in D&D, right? You can go fight Tiamat, you can go fight dragons if you want. What's a guy with maybe a little bit of gel in his hair, combed over, comes out, try not to get bit challenged. Like at first glance, it's like
with an adverse reaction to Italian food.
Right.
It's like, all right, so what? Just don't get bit by this guy and just beat the crap out of him. Yeah. But okay, this is good. This is a good lore. This is lore section right here. This is
good.
Because truthfully, like when you can fight Tiamat, what the hell is a vampire that like? Sure, he might be kind of cool, but
in comparison, what does it really matter? Yeah, cool. Well, getting back to on a nat 20, and then we're gonna kick off the main topic, and we've got lots of questions. But one nat 20 that I don't know if you were here for it, Michael. I think Alex was here, but it was on Friday, and
probably not.
I think no, you're not because you're in vacation mode. But I think it was Alyssa said on a nat 20, we're going to have court day and everybody here has to dress like me for one day. And right before she rolled it, I said, if that lands, I'm going to dress like Mike. Boom! Nat 20'd. So I'm going to dress like you, Mike, one day, and then everybody else is going to dress like me. So I'm going to need some cargo shorts. I got the glasses, and I'm going to throw that hat on. Cocked at a 15
You could have
degree.
a D-back shirt too.
D-back shirt, yep.
Only if it's game day.
Oh, do you only wear them on game day?
You don't want to waste the mojo.
No. See, okay. Yep. We're getting the superstition. Yep. I like it.
Did we figure out what day this is happening so I can make sure I... Sorry, man.
You never want to participate in the fun.
Hey, Alex.
No, you weren't here for it, so you don't have to. Yeah, it was those that were present in the role. So, good. Anyway, all right, so we're getting into our main topic here, and I'm going to kick this off with reading, Hiroko, your about me in Discord, because I think... I should have said this in your intro here, but this is phenomenal. This says, and what is your Discord name, just so we can highlight you a little bit, if you want. We don't have to highlight you that much. We can keep you anonymous a little bit.
I honestly don't remember. I have like 3 names that I went through. So
it's like Goblin of Fire or something like that. What is that?
So for Funk, it's fire equals answer.
That's right. Fire equals answer.
With my little avatar icon being a burning building with the phrase, "Yay, we're the heroes."
Oh my gosh. That's great.
And then most other places, I'm Chaos Goblin.
Chaos Goblin, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I think this one's for Chaos Goblin. It says, a dice hoarding lover of chaos likes fire and dice and books, but won't set fire to books or dice. Did I mention dice? It's awesome. So Hiroko is here. Thank you so much. And before we move on, there's something I just passed over a little bit. You are a commission painter. So are you open to commissions if people want you to paint some stuff for them?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. If I know you and you're a friend and all that, I give you a little bit of a discount.
Cool.
Otherwise,
Usually-
$1 billion.
Yeah. That's always the answer.
Also, what's the terrain bin limit?
Apparently
2 tubs.
2.
And how do people connect with you if they want to do some commission work with you?
Well, usually you can find me at the store.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
You have the
I
very
think-
cool business cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were nice enough to let me put the business cards up there.
They've gotten a lot of attention for how cool they look. Single, like, rad icon, black business card. Yeah. Very
Art
cool.
is my thing.
Yeah. So come down Tuesdays. Hang out with us. Meet Hiroko, the celebrity. So I've got some questions here because, again, at the table, we don't play D&D.
Yeah.
My experience is I've played maybe 1 1/4 campaign. I've played through a little bit of Curse of Strahd back in 3rd edition, I think. Something like that. But Michael is not a D&D nerd. Mike is curious.
I don't think I've played since like 3rd edition.
Okay, so you have played.
Yeah, and just to be real, it was never really for me. And I think
Yeah.
it's the lack of lasers. I'm dead serious. I always played a ranger because I want to shoot things and I want to talk to animals. And like they have like stealth cool stuff. Like I could like hide in a tree and like ninja attack people. That was pretty cool. But there was no lasers. And eventually, I mean, I've been talking to this wolf for a while. I need something else to talk to. And like squirrels aren't. I don't know. It just never did it for me. And in 5th, I think I played the starter box, like whatever campaign comes in there. I don't know. It's just, I appreciate that the game has such depth and such a following. I think I really just need spaceships and lasers and all of that. But then there's a Spelljammer, like there's Outer Space D&D.
What is it?
Spelljammer Adventures in Space is like a 3-book set they put out that's like space D&D.
Oh, really?
I don't know what happens in it. There's like a giant space hamster, right? But that would be the D&D that I think this makes sense to me. It's Guardians of the Galaxy D&D.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, the to hit system was always a challenge for me in D&D. It just I don't know, always felt bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling. Okay, what do I need? Just roll. Okay. I got a 15 and I get a +3. I got an 18 and I'm feeling good about that.
good.
You missed. And like with a bad DM, sometimes thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
Sometimes with a bad DM though, that's it. It's just like you missed.
Yeah.
It's like, but
What do you mean?
it's an 18.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. I don't know. It was always a challenge for me. That and here the tables are big. People, I think, are much more patient and cooperative than I think I'm built to be. I can't handle that many people at a table. I think like 4 or 5 is kind of my max. And then the ADD just kicks too hard. Yeah. Like, no, when do I get to roll dice? I'm here to roll dice. We were playing, Battletech has an RPG system called Destiny. Not a big fan of that one either.
Yeah.
Like, I love the universe, but the system, again, it's like to hit numbers and just the way the math worked. It was never for me.
But you did Star Wars RPG.
The Star Wars system has its own system, and I really like that system. I think I like the system more than I necessarily like playing in Star Wars. Star Wars works for me because there's lasers and spaceships, and I know that universe pretty well. But it was really just the Genesis / Star Wars, the way the dice work. I like that a lot more. Just works differently. It's just... But I completely and totally get why people want to play in the universe that they're used to with the things that look and taste good to them. Like, I cannot imagine if I was a D&D fan trying to play the Star Wars system with any real like, yay. Yeah. I don't want that. I want swords and sorcery. I don't want spaceships and lightsabers. And so I think for me, it's just I've always just been in that sci-fi place. We carried the Starfinder books for a while, and people explained Starfinder and Pathfinder to me as like 3rd edition D&D, and I decided I didn't want to play based on that. I was just like, okay, so it's in space, that's cool, and there's aliens, I like that, but it's still D&D with it's a hit number.
And to be fair, like Pathfinder was also explained to me as if you like sitting there for 6 hours to create your character, then it's the game for you.
Jeez. Oh, it's like super crunchy though.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it basically takes all the parts of D&D that's not nuanced and nuances it. And so you can build the perfect character for yourself.
Like the guy that you want to play to like, so my baseball player that shows up in a D&D universe, I could build that really easily in Pathfinder.
That's the part.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
He would work exactly how I want him to by that rule set.
But it is very nuanced.
Interesting. Okay, if I was going to build... So I was talking to Hiroko before we started recording about... we were having a conversation a couple weeks ago where I asked, are you allowed to play a character that's got amnesia, that doesn't know why he's there? And she's like, yeah. I was like, ooh, I like this. And so I'm cooking a character, and I think I want to sit at a table one day who's a minor league ball player that wakes up one day in a D&D tavern. What the hell's going on? And he's not good at any of the things you're supposed to be good at in D&D because he's spent his whole life learning to pitch. But he's really good at throwing within like a 3x3 rectangle or square at 63 feet.
Yeah.
That's going to be his skill.
But he's from the modern world. He's like from our world. Right?
Yeah. I like the way you put it. It was Kid in King Arthur's Court. Yeah. That's what I want to play in D&D. And Hiroko's going to let me because she
God
likes...
help that table, man.
Oh my gosh. The whole time she's going to be like, what the hell is going on?
The cultural references that will be made by your character are going to be phenomenal.
Oh, God.
So good.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Cool. So then to not jump too far ahead, but I'm going to reorder some of these questions. But like, so for those of us that, well, we know what D&D is, but for those folks that may not really have a handle on what D&D, which we've actually never said this in this episode, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think we stated that.
Yeah, right.
That's
Dungeons
fair,
and Dragons. What is D&D? To somebody who is just curious, hey, what is this D&D thing? It's really nerdy, you roll dice, or maybe you don't even know that much. My mom said it's satanic, I can't play it. Like, what is D&D?
I think D&D at its root is a mostly medieval-based teamwork event.
Ooh, yeah.
I think there's a misconception among new players that come in.
Okay.
There is no winning D&D.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah, I
point.
agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we usually explain to them that if you role play your character well, that's a win. And you have to basically, there's a certain level of commitment to your character, I think. And this is where it kind of broaches into that area where a lot of players talk about D&D therapy, because you put a little bit of yourself into your character a lot of times.
That tracks.
But committing to your character means that if they're that silly type of character like that's very curious and that likes to touch everything, you commit even though you know something's going to kill you.
Okay. So I remember in high school there was the classic, hey, this box is ticking. What do we do? I'm going to touch it with my 10-foot pole, because I think someone in the party had a 10-foot pole and they poked it and it blew up. Yeah. So just, knowing that it's a bad decision, but your character would do that, you do that thing. And
I think that's the hardest part, though, because they put a piece of themselves into these characters. It is kind of not quite, but a little bit of you if you were born into these circumstances that you put your character through.
Oh, wow.
And so when you do that, there's this connection, and you don't want your character to die. It's no longer just a simple game anymore.
Right.
And for me, that's the draw of D&D, is you create something that is terrifically different from you, but there's just that little bit, and it teaches empathy, it teaches consciousness, it teaches awareness of your party. And the best D&D tables, I think, work together because they take all of that and still have consideration for each other.
That's why I'm bad at beautiful. I'm good at the committing to character. It's just my characters usually don't care. I'm a scumbag gambler. Yeah. Where's the closest table? What, the party needs to do something? I don't care.
Well, for AL, there's the rule of you can be a scumbag character, but the one rule you don't break is you do not betray your party members. So how do you take a character like that, right, and commit to that rule? That's for you to decide.
I mean, is being drunk at the tavern because I was gambling all night, is that a betrayal, or is that just like a...
It feels like it's in character, though, right?
Yeah.
See? Like,
that's the classic summoner geeks. Like, roll to see if I'm getting drunk. Gosh, it's so good. Yeah, so, okay, let's dive into that just a little bit. Like, if I am playing with you guys in a party, but I am chaotic evil...
Well, I mean, can you even play?
Can you play? Can you do that?
Well, currently, no.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Currently,
Well,
AL does not allow evil characters.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like that's a hard rule from WotC?
Right now, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, could I be like an evil character in disguise?
If your DM lets you.
Ooh. Okay.
So that's one of the things that...
So you're a Dodger?
I'm a Dodger on roids.
That's actually one of the things, though, I think that... is great that AL has kept is when it comes down to it, it's dependent on your DM.
Right.
And so they're very aware of AL rules have changed a lot. And each time what they're trying to do is make it equal for everybody, that everybody is on the same playing field, that nobody is far more powerful than anybody else, and making it about them instead of the party, right?
So it's kind of anti-min-maxing? Okay.
And there's always people. So I do think it is a natural aspect of people just in general to want the best for your character that you can possibly have, right? To try and have whatever it is that makes you your optimal self. But when it starts impacting the rest of your party members, that's when you should really stop and think to yourself, is this worth it? And I think that's the whole reason why they, once again, removed evil characters, is it just created too many problems for the rest of the party.
Sure.
A lot of times. But, that being said, one of the important rules that we have here, that we have established in Funk, is it's up to the DMs.
Yeah.
If you think that your party is going to have more fun this way...
Rock it.
I'm not going to police you.
Sure.
You know? So, yeah. But if someone comes up to me and tells me, hey, like, this kind of sucks, then yeah, we have a talk with you. But otherwise, we're not really on the hard and fast side. We kind of play it by ear.
Yeah. Cool. And then, so it seems like everybody in the party obviously has to work together and everything. And when you're creating a character, is it kind of best to take into consideration what the rest of the party is? And no? Okay.
So yes and no. There's some people who just play better when they play that way. And for that, I'm not going to stop you from doing that.
Okay.
But we believe that playing what you want to play is the best experience.
Yeah, I'd equate that to rule of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like with plastic,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to play that army. It looks silly to me. I don't want to paint it. It doesn't look cool. I personally, you couldn't pay me enough to be a paladin. Like big shiny armor,
I would not see
and
it
like
as that, yeah.
holy spells or what everything I imagine a paladin to be. I want nothing. There's no room for gambling and drinking and like being at the tavern as a paladin. That's a no.
There is.
Said yeah,
It'd be a fun night.
See, one of the things I think people forget about paladins and clerics also is what the paladin is representing is a code. So that lawful side of them is not necessarily lawful to a specific city's set of rules.
Okay.
What you have to have is a set code for yourself, and that code is what you cannot break.
So you can be a bad, like you can have a low moral baseline, and as long as you stick to it, you still are lawful. So like Sandor Clegane, the Hound is still a lawful character. Sure. And like, well, then Gregor Clegane, the Mountain is equally lawful. He believes in might is right, and like he's doing what the king that like what the crown that he knows is telling him.
Yeah, he does
he's
what
lawful,
Cersei
but
says,
I'd say he's lawful evil. No, from my understanding,
I haven't. This is where I'm going to get a little shade. I haven't read the books.
Oh, I haven't read the books either.
I read the first one. That was it.
From my understanding from the show,
Game of Thrones, by the way.
Cool. I have no idea what.
My fantasy references are pretty much Game of Thrones and like '80s Dragon Slayer. And,
Hell yeah,
like,
Merlin. Or that was like 90s,
Excalibur,
Fire and Ice.
Which was like I think Excalibur is '70s. John Boorman.
Yeah.
But I don't really. There was the bad Jeremy Irons D&D that came out in the 90s.
Gosh.
And the new D&D with Dr. Chris Pine, phenomenal.
Great.
But to me, Game of Thrones is like the most I can land and get with a fantasy setting. So like that's my reference I was using. So like the Cleganes as my reference, I would consider them both kind of lawful evil then. Or if Greg
the Hound I actually would agree with you on to a certain extent.
Okay.
The Mountain though, from what I saw in the show, he was mostly just following orders.
Okay.
It wasn't about what he actually believed in.
So you couldn't even really get into his personality.
Okay. So that notion of lawful is based on your core beliefs. So you could interesting. So you could still be following orders. And be chaotic evil. So interesting.
It's one of those cool things that they did in the Dragonlance series back in the day. This is more than 2 decades ago. But they introduced the concept of a lawful evil army. And so before, there's all these baddies, but they're not working together. And they're backstabbing each other, as one would expect. What they introduced was this legion of soldiers who all had the same code. And all of a sudden, you have this unstoppable force because they refuse to backstab each other based on that code.
Jeez.
Would the ghost people from Return of the King, would they be lawful evil? Because they were all on the same code of we're trying to get we're trying to be like rest in peace, and we can't until we fulfill our thing. So they're all on the same page. But they're definitely they're ghosts that want us dead.
Mike, I so appreciate the Lord of the Rings reference you just made.
Well, I mean,
points to you. Good job.
Just following.
Yeah, good job.
Would they be lawful evil like that? The army you just described.
Because once again, it's not about what they necessarily believe in. It has nothing to do with their own moral code. What they're doing is trying to get out of their curse, right?
Okay.
And so that to me tells me that you're not doing this because you believe in a code. You're doing this just to get out from a prison.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so that army, as opposed to the one you just described from Dragonlance, how would that align? They're working for the, like, I would say they're definitely evil. They want humanity dead, you know, but then they're all on the same page. They're working together as a team.
Yeah.
But only because they have to with the Ghost Army.
So,
like they're bound by that.
So is that a neutral?
Whereas this is a choice that the army makes.
Yeah.
So with that neutral evil, or
No, that
just evil?
yeah.
Real quick, I really have to use the bathroom. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. To come back, I think what we've done is we've gone on this fun rabbit hole of what alignment does this match with. So what we're going to do is in another episode, or maybe even, you know what, we'll throw a fun little Patreon special or something like that. We're going to do what is their alignment. So we're going to have a fun game, and Hiroko, we'll have to bring you back because you're the expert on this. Yep, we're bringing you back. But we're going to do a fun game, and we're going to throw in pop culture figures, any sort of literary character, person historical figure, fictional, whatever, and we're going to try and guess their alignment, and you got to tell us what it actually is. So we could do something along the lines of Count Dooku. What is he?
wow,
something like that.
I could go on this for days. Dooku?
That's
lawful evil all day long, right?
I guess so.
Like, he's got a moral code.
We're doing it. We're in there. We're
baselining real low.
Yeah.
See, so this is where I'm going to throw in a wrench.
Oh no.
I think too many people harp on the alignment thing.
Oh, okay.
So it is there to guide you and your character when you don't have an idea of what to do in a situation, right? It's also there so that you're not just randomly as a player going, I'm going to do this because I feel like it, without any notion of
why it would be happening.
Yeah, why it would be happening.
Okay.
And for the most part, for almost all adventures that are published, I would say that alignment is actually not that necessary, mostly because it's just human nature to delve a little bit into each alignment pattern of, like, we all have moments where we went through that stop sign, or
bad decisions, good decisions, all of it
is just intrinsically human nature. And I think when we start to really kind of just harp on it and kind of like make the character about the alignment, you lock them in. And I think that's where people get really antsy about the alignment too, because I have had so many people come up to me of like, I don't understand this. I thought I had a good grasp of alignment. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore because everybody has their own interpretation. And so for me, it's a very simple thing. I ask you two questions. Do you lean towards good or evil?
Evil.
Okay.
Pans out. And do you lean towards chaos or law?
Oh, okay.
Law.
And that's where where you are on those 2 meters will tell you what alignment you are.
Well, I like to consider myself Funkatronic good, and I think Mike is Funkatronic salt.
And I'm Funkatronic Cell.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like that was the most beautiful and slightly poignant moment of D&D talk I've ever heard. Like, we're all a little bit of this, and that's true. I think you're absolutely right, and so I think that's a good thing to consider. Maybe some new players. Hey, don't lean too heavy on that. Yeah. I think we might still make it into a game. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we were talking about Pulp Fiction characters earlier and just what alignment they would be. But that's fantastic. I think you're spot on. And this is why you're the DM squared.
Sure.
Right there. That was it. That's why you're the DM squared. So
And I still consider myself learning, though.
well, I think, that makes sense. I mean, I think all great leaders, going to throw that title with you.
Oh, you.
All
No,
intelligent
don't do that.
Everybody still is learning. We're all still learning. Yeah. So let's get to some questions here then. We've gone on the rabbit hole and I love it, but let's talk about your nerd origin story. So tell us a little bit about how you got started with gaming, nerd culture, what drew you to the fantasy realms and stuff like that, and what kind of started your D&D journey.
Well, my nerddom began with the fact that we were poor growing up. So we couldn't afford, a Game Boy or any of the new cool high-tech stuff. I remember being a kid and at one point being like, socket boppers, they're like the coolest thing. and then they're like, my parents looked at it and they're like, that's ridiculous. We're not paying that. Yeah. But my dad especially was all about books. And so I would devour books. The Scholastic Fair thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was the one that circled almost every book on those pages as the one I wanted, right? And along with that, my dad would hide away his manga collection.
Oh.
He would hide them away because some of them had adult content, right? I did not give two fucks. I would basically, at a time when everybody else was trying to search for, their parents' whatever naughty thing that they want. There I was searching and trying to find where the comics were hidden. And one of the things that my parents did for us was they couldn't afford to buy us full sets of comics, but Japan has these booklets basically it's a collection of 6 or 7 different manga that they release one chapter at a time, and whoever gets the most acclaim usually gets to have a published set, right? But those booklets that they would get us, not only would I read through the entire thing multiple times over, but they came with these little kits of you can build your own little paper bank, or your my first tarot card set was this anime these characters on these cards, and I was all about that. I was all the toys, give it to me.
Yeah.
And my sister and I would basically do a 50-50 share. And whatever extra one, we were okay, on a monthly basis, we rotate out who gets that one.
Cool.
And it just grew from there. I always, even though I couldn't afford a Game Boy, I would go over to friends' houses and, ask to borrow theirs. And we also had other people come into our lives who were gracious and kind enough to let us borrow their systems. And in high school, I delved deeply into both PC games and D&D. And that was where, it really sank its hooks into me of, no, this is going to be part of my life now for forever.
And what edition was D&D current with at that time?
That was 2nd edition.
2nd edition. Okay.
When it was still in its 1st edition phase, I thought the books looked so cool, but I was in no position to actually be able to buy them. And so every time we'd go into a bookstore, I would gaze longingly at these red covers that was just calling to me. And I understood the concept of D&D, but I had never played it before. 2nd edition comes in, it's there for a while, and the group of friends I was with at the time basically ran it constantly. Some of them had even made their own worlds for this. And so I learned all the old stuff. THAC0, and, to hit armor class 0 was a whole thing of you have to do some reverse math to get to see if you actually hit a thing.
I just had a flashback of, I remember that. And once you said THAC0, it's to hit, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember. I did that in high school, yeah. I forgot that existed.
What is that, just for the listeners that may not know?
To hit armor class 0.
THAC0.
And it was a weird reverse math, kind of like you do in Warhammer, where you do my toughness versus your strength.
Yeah,
it was I remember that.
And I initially did not get it at all. I was there for role playing. I did not understand the rules, and I just let my friends guide me through it. I finally learned those rules, and 3rd edition came out.
Typical.
And I was like, but I was like, that's fine. It's 3rd edition. Now we're all on the same playing field, right? I can learn all this. So I buy all the books that's available, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then 3.5 comes out.
Jeez. Yeah.
And I missed 4th edition in its entirety.
I think a lot of people did, though. 4th was only a couple years, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's the least popular.
4th is pretty
right?
critically panned.
Yeah.
And like player base has told me nothing but bad about it.
Well, 4th edition was what veered closest to Warhammer, I think. There were flanking rules, and it was a lot more about combat and placement.
The tabletop aspect. Okay.
And I think that's where we kind of, as a consumer base, we vary upon our preferences.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I missed it for completely different reasons. It wasn't a conscious decision like everybody else. I just happened to miss it because I didn't have a friend group to play
life
with at
happens.
the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I came in, I think it was Tales of the Yawning Portal had just been put out when I came into 5th edition.
Okay.
And I look back and I'm a little embarrassed because, I did the thing of, I played with, this and this and this edition. And, nobody cares.
You can say shit. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody gives a shit. 5th edition is so different from the other editions.
How so?
It is far more streamlined. It is far more newbie friendly.
Okay.
And in general, I actually think 5th edition is the best edition.
Wow.
I feel like it's had better longevity at this point. It's over a decade old, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
Yeah. I played in 3.5, I think.
Yeah.
Is when I was in high school playing.
And there's a lot of people that still say 3.5 is the best one.
Right.
So there's some debate, but I think 5th edition, because it's so streamlined, because it's so newbie friendly, has allowed a lot more people to access D&D to begin with. You know? And our community has grown, and then right at the perfect moment, all of a sudden, the media started portraying more D&D.
Stranger Things and Pandemic
Yes,
landed
there you go.
hard.
Yep.
That combo was such a, suddenly being a nerd is cool.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're all stuck at home looking for something cool to do. Win. Yeah.
I remember being stuck at home, sick with COVID, having my iPad on like a stand just in front of my eyes. So I'm like laying in bed, like just watching Critical Role, like just watching them play D&D, and like there it is. So yeah, we've seen a big resurgence and a big push in D&D players. Every week we have somebody coming in. At least I'm going to say at least 2 to 3 people.
I feel like it's 2 to 3 people a week are like, hey, I'm looking to get in. When can I join? Do you have tables for new people?
Yeah. We had 7 new players 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, we have a new Tuesday coming up. New month. We'll probably have like 3-4 more players, I'd guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen a big draw. So
the more people, you feel free to accept them all, because it's the more people that we get, the more people I can shove into DMing. It's your turn now.
All right, time to do it.
Yeah.
Just to make it very clear, we have a system where if you play with us for a season, you are now DM eligible.
Ooh.
For a season being like one full campaign,
One
like
full
all
campaign,
of Strahd.
yep.
How long is all of Strahd going to take?
We're doing it at a slow pace of 6 months.
Okay. So
That's
you got
solid.
6 months of learning. That's fair. 6 times the 4 weeks. You got like 24, 26 sessions. Okay. I played through a whole campaign. I would not be a good DM. I'm warning you now. If I end up like really enjoying my baseball player character, I'm a horrible DM. I've tried in other systems that I know, and I'm like, I'm not good at this.
Well, that brings up a good question. I'm just going to ask a little bit, like, what makes a good DM?
Oh, I've got an answer. From experience.
Yeah.
your DM has to be capable of rolling with all of your plans going to shit. Because I have never been in a party where the DM planned on, we're going to go A, B, C, and the party didn't say, no, I'm going to go Q.
Yeah.
Like from the jump. We're getting started. The first thing I usually, can I go do this? And so without that ability to like
adapt
on the fly, like, and if anything, that's where I am real bad at. The couple times I've tried to DM, it's like, okay, cool. I have this really cool story that I want to present. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. They're going to meet this character. And again, from the jump, we're going to Q. What the? No, I spent like 4 hours and like I planned all this and now you want to go meet some guy I haven't conceptualized.
Right.
No,
right.
I don't want to do that. So like, I don't know. To me, that was the best DMs I've ever played with. Let me do whatever the hell I want and still manage to steer me back in a timely manner to get whatever that they had planned to happen. And the DMs that weren't great, specifically like, just lost the plot, myself included. Oh, that was an idea I hadn't planned for, and now I don't know what. You know. So for myself, like, and I think all of your DMs do it well because I've not heard a single complaint of like, I wanted to do something, but the DM wouldn't let me. Like, I have yet to hear that at a table.
Yeah.
And to me, that speaks volumes because again, I've seen some of these players are absolutely like me. Oh, you were planning on that? That's too bad because I'm going way over here. We, in the first couple years, this is a fun story. In the first couple years of having the store open, we had multiple parents approach us about like, hey, our kids want to try D&D. Do you offer D&D? This is before we had Adventure League.
Cool parents to do that.
Yeah. Yes. That's it's cool that the parents would
support it. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not trying to denigrate that at all.
Yeah.
That said, I don't even know a good analogy because it was like, okay, you don't know anything about this thing that's a pretty big ball of wax.
Oh yeah.
That I also don't know about, and I get where like the expectation for me to know something about it lies. I get that. But then, like, you're also talking about younger gamers, and you want us to, like, guide and direct an adventure. And we tried it a couple times with Paul DMing these younger kids, and exactly what I'm saying. Okay, we're going to do this. And one of these kids was a ranger or a druid or something that had a pet wolf. My wolf walked into the woods. I'm going to go follow him. And it took the rest of the 3-hour session with these kids just to try and wrangle this one kid to understand the notion of cooperative gameplay. And I can imagine that there's adults like myself that play the same way where it's like, I don't care what story you were planning. I heard we were playing pretend with dice. I'm ready. I'm playing pretend, and my pretend is I'm going over there to the gambling hall. You know,
Yeah.
I for real, I have mad respect. My characters are very unidimensional. They're scumbags who just want to make all the money by rolling dice.
Yeah.
But I'm seriously, I'm always impressed at how natural and how easy you guys make it look. Because to me, DMing is a huge challenge. I think in most of the games we deal with here, playing it is one thing. Being able to speak to it to a level where you can teach it is another thing. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything outside of the realm of role-playing has that next level of like, oh, but to do this, to DM, you really got to be like a book beyond everybody else. You have your own book for it. I can play Battletech. I can teach Battletech. To lead a campaign in Battletech, I'd say is akin to DMing in D&D or in a role-playing system, because that's where you have to start looking at that next level of like, okay, it's not just this one adventure, we're part of a larger campaign. And you guys do it so effortlessly from the outside looking in. It fascinates.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like for real. The way you guys roll with the punches, because I've heard some of the goofy things that like the tables do. I don't know if it was, this is a while ago that it happened, so maybe like 2 campaigns back. But they told me something they discovered because the character didn't know. But what happens when you throw a bag of holding into a bag of holding?
Oh, shit. I have no idea.
They told me you instantly enter the astral plane and just get demolished by like level 20 and up things that your party is not ready for. And I was like, and they just found this out by like doing it and like, yeah. It was rad. Okay, so I'm going to try this cool thing and like, look what happens. And then suddenly they get blinked into another place and like spiritual things are just destroying them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
It's a planar bomb.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like
okay.
it literally goes off like an explosive and sucks you through, and you're now lost. Like you might not even end up somewhere with your party.
You might just
really?
get zapped somewhere
So it's like
else.
the warp in 40K. It's like the warp almost. Kind of like just
What a phenomenal last ditch effort, though. If if you're facing Strahd
sure.
himself and like your party's, oh my god, guys, I think we're all done. But I got these 2 bags.
crossing the streams.
Boom!
Yeah.
And you throw it in,
Yeah.
and just chaos happens, and somehow you see like Strahd like rip in half and then get sucked into a warp, and then man,
That's rad.
the fact that this is like something that was written, like if you do this, this will happen, and these characters just, hey, I'm gonna try this thing, and there was rules for it. Love it.
That's rad.
That's rad.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Quick answer, and maybe there's I don't know, maybe there is no difference in this, but like, do you prefer to play or do you prefer to DM?
I prefer to play.
Wow. Then thank you for leading the charge. 'Cause you've done DMing for a lot
That was
of our
actually
campaigns.
one of the things, though, of like when you guys were looking for somebody to run AL. I was like, well, now I got to step up because there's nobody else, and I want to play, and the only way to play is if I do this, where we all take turns DMing.
Yeah.
Eventually, I will have a turn to play.
Right?
And you are playing in this one right now, right?
No, I'm
No,
running this.
you're
one.
Oh,
DMing.
damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was actually specifically asked to run Curse of Strahd for a group of, like, last season's DMs. My contract with them was they DM for me for a season, despite being nervous and unsure of themselves.
Sure.
For a season, and I will DM for them Curse of Strahd.
Nice. Oh, that's right, because you've got all the props. Duh, I should have known that. Yep. Okay.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yeah.
It really worked out because some of them really took to DMing, and so they were like, no, I have no problem doing this again.
They stuck
Right.
with it.
Yeah.
Contract renewed.
But DMing is a completely different game altogether.
Agreed.
It's D&D, and you're supposed to be part of the party technically. You're supposed to be on the player's side
As the DM?
as the DM.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought it'd be neutral.
I would have thought neutral, or if nothing else, specifically antagonist. Like
yeah.
I'm setting up the baddies.
So at best, it's neutral.
Okay.
But I think neutrality is the hardest alignment of all, honestly. Because I think it's, if you're sitting there and watching these players struggle, these players who love their characters, who have formed this bond, you give out a reaching hand, right?
Yeah.
And I would rather people lean,
TPK. Yeah.
but that's one of those things. I keep telling my players, because they're like, Hiroko loves to kill people. Hiroko has the highest kill count. And I'm like, I keep telling you, I don't want to kill anybody. I just don't care if you die. And that's my form of neutrality.
That is absolutely fair. That's fair. If you do something dumb, you're probably going to pay for it.
Exactly.
Oh, I'd be dead like every session.
I feel like you could run for president on that motto right
Oh,
there. And I'd
God.
vote for you.
No.
Is there? I think I just had the light bulb.
Light bulb.
Is there some kind of curse that brings you back to life?
There's all types of curses that bring you back to life.
Like reanimated?
Can I be cursed to come back to life, like eternally, and not know it until like the first time I die?
Oh, that would be hilarious.
And then I die, and I don't die.
They actually introduced a reborn class.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Do they
are
get?
stupid cool?
Do they lose?
sounds very,
do they lose stats or anything?
Lizardmen.
No,
Kinda.
they have their they actually, I think, is the most broken class.
Because they have like old memories, right?
Stormcast.
could.
It'd be like Stormcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you could actually, there's a skill where you could actually roll to see if one of your past lives or your previous life teaches you something about the current situation.
Now I don't know
He's
which
in.
character I'm playing. Amnesia, like pitcher or cursed to rebirth.
Wait. What if this is like his rebirth and the realm that he's in is like the afterlife? He was a pitcher, died somehow, and now this is him
Hit by
living.
a comebacker.
Yeah.
Got
Bam,
hit by
line
a
drive.
comebacker, like right in the
Yeah.
dome.
And this is his afterlife. Yeah.
We're
maybe.
cooking.
We're cooking.
I'm
We're cooking.
liking this.
Okay. All right.
But also, it'd be funny to be like, also like Mike's character looks back, he's like, wait a minute, all I did was gamble? What the heck?
That would be
It was
awesome.
through my interpreter.
Yeah.
But I do agree though that being able to work with players on the fly is a really important skill.
Sure.
But I think the best DMs that I've had are very conscientious people. They are very aware of their surroundings and will pick up just naturally on the things that players like. And it's not even like the big things, right? Of like, oh no, I'm going to place Q. Okay, you can go to place Q, but here's other tidbits in place Q that will lead you back to the main storyline out of your own volition.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
That's good.
Yeah. Good. What got you here then? So what got you to Funkatronic Rex? Like, how'd you get introduced to us?
That's the most important question.
Well, I moved here. In California, I went to a store called Next Gen. They were awesome.
Where at in Cali?
Let's see. Now I'm blanking on names.
Like
Yeah,
LA County? Were you in LA County?
Oh yeah.
okay.
It was like south of the Hollywood region.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were awesome. They were the ones that introduced me to, because up until that point, I think my experience with public play was always hesitant. It was very much a male-dominated gaming forum.
Absolutely.
And there were people that would like test you, I guess, of like, they'd come up to me and be like, ask me what I knew about D&D or
Kind of like gatekeeping? Like,
kind of, yeah. And so I was really hesitant about joining a group at a game store because there was this prevailing thought of, it's kind of creepy for a female to go. And it's also this sort of closed off community and there's these stereotypes involved. So I was a little nervous, but when I joined them, they did the same thing you guys did of, hey, how's it going? Immediately right off the bat, welcoming, friendly, wanted to get me into a game, and it was great. And so when I came over here, that's what I was looking for, of that sort of same community. And I went to a few places more around my area because I'm over in the Chandler area. And there are some places that kind of offer that, but there was always something that was off for me, of whether the play space is too small or it's kind of a dying community or there's just not enough people there. There was always something that was kind of off for me. So I kept searching and I was starting to get a little antsy because I hadn't played D&D in a while. And so when I came here, Alex was here, and you know how friendly Alex is. Yeah. And he was just like, hey, and just immediately talked me into coming back on Tuesday. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And just since then, it was such a small community. I'm not even like sure at that point what made me stay at that table, because there was only 3 of us there initially. But everybody was just so friendly, and I just kept coming back. And so when Robert left the DM scene, I stepped up because you guys offered me not only that friendliness, but were quite honest with me of none of you guys play D&D. We're not going to overlook this. This is going to be a responsibility that you have to take on. Mm-hmm. And for me, that you basically told me, go do what you want.
Kind of.
Here you go.
I'm not going to tell you how to do what you're doing great.
Yeah. And so that's what I did. I took every bit of experience I had in the things that Next Gen taught me, the things that my friends taught me, that every D&D group has taught me, and basically took all the good bits from it and just kind of blorped it onto Funk.
Well, good job.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It keeps growing.
Yeah.
And like
we're gonna fill up the store one day.
I can't.
I believe it. I believe it.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have fancy enough words to explain. Like, no, legitimately, you run that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
we are very hands off because we don't speak the language. I mean, we'd be lucky to have any game covered the way you covered D&D for us. And it, for real, it goes a long way, and we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Hiroko. There's, like Mike said, there's not enough words that we can say to express our gratitude for what you do here. You've led this community. You are the DM squared. You are the dungeon master of dungeon masters, and we so appreciate you being.
We appreciate you guys
here.
too. Yeah, we wouldn't be what we are without you guys there for us, because you always have our backs. And we really appreciate that. Like, if there's a problem, we can always come to you guys.
Yeah, it's the most fun night to work. I'm sorry. It is.
Honestly, right now, absolutely. And I don't play D&D.
No.
I'm sitting behind the counter, usually watching a ball game, and just the energy in the room is phenomenal. Like, there's a good din of conversation.
Yeah.
There's the every 5 minutes, that's satisfying.
Yeah.
Every, 3 innings, Michael and I get one of those moments when, our team performs. But no, it's a good night to be in the shop. Energy's good. There's multiple game systems going on. There's usually a Warhammer game going on at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, we're open late Tuesdays for those of you guys who don't know. Come on down. We're open till 10.
Yeah.
So swing by. Even if you're just interested, can folks come in and just watch a table for a little bit?
We've had several people do that already.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in D&D, come on down and come hang out with us. Meet Hiroko, the DM celebrity. There you go. And we're going to introduce a new segment moving forward because it's something we do in the shop called D&D Moment of the Month. And it may not be monthly on the podcast just because we release every 2 weeks, but we're going to highlight from now on a specific campaign moment from a table that just is like, wow, that was it right there. So in the store, we do a Moment of the Month where the DMs kind of vote and figure out what was the coolest, so-and-so did this, cast this spell, and it made sure that the demi-lich was destroyed, and it was great on this nat 20 roll. Whatever it is. Or it could be an epic fail, which has happened amazingly. But we award those who have those moments, and we like to give away fun, cool things. And so we've been giving away silver coins, we've been giving away books, D&D minis, but on the podcast, I think we're going to move forward with a D&D moment of the month, or call it something different if it's not of the month, but D&D moment where we're going to peek into your guys' world in the right now for Curse of Strahd, the Ravenloft campaign, and we're going to share some fun, cool moments on the podcast. So we're going to be looking forward to that. Yeah.
Sweet.
Good. Well, I think we're going to just wrap up with some quick Q&A firing because we've had some questions come at us. But before we do that, Hiroko, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
This was a delightful episode, truly. And this was one, when we started the podcast, we knew we were going to get you. Truly. Or at least try to get you. That was it. It was like, well, what do we do? Well, Hiroko's got to be on it. When we start this. So 7th episode, that's a good number. And
Lucky
there
7.
it is.
Yep,
Lucky 7. We got Hiroko. So thank you for being here.
Thanks
for having me. Yeah.
So Q&A, we're going to rapid fire this. We're going to start with... First off, if you guys have questions, get at us. Discord, Facebook, Instagram. You can email us with the email address shop@funkatronicrex.com. Give us a call, swing by, yell a question at me, and we'll try and feature it on the podcast. But here we go. Left to right, Favorite vacation spot, Micheal?
My house. My bedroom.
Yeah. Okay.
You know why? Because Daft Punk is playing at his house. His house.
All right.
That's probably the best I got, just because I have, I've been to Mexico a couple times, but it's like small town Mexico. Actually, that was good, dude. The amount of like stuff I got to do as like a 10-year, I was probably like 10 at the time, is like wild. I was going to the convenience store to buy fireworks every day. It would be like, hey, we're gonna go walk to go do something, and we'd disappear for a couple hours, and then we'd come back, and like it was business as usual. No one was worried. Like I was actually, you know what? I'm changing it. Mexico.
Right on.
Saucillo specifically, small town Mexico.
Shout out. Boom. Hiroko, favorite vacation spot?
New Zealand.
New Zealand? Where?
Everywhere.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Everything that you have seen in Lord of the Rings, they don't exaggerate on any of that. All of that is real. It is gorgeous out there.
I want to go so bad. How many times have you been?
Only the once.
Yeah, that's...
But it was for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's home for me.
Oh. Fuck, I gotta go. The boys and I are planning a New Zealand trip after we finish the Lord of the Rings campaign, so it's gonna happen.
You can go from idyllic horse ride to climbing a mountain to jumping off a cliff to riding around in a cage to feed lions.
Yes, I'm in.
And then you end it with the ring into
Mount Doom. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Mike, favorite vacation spot?
Maui, all the way.
Maui, okay.
Without a doubt.
And is that going to be your new home once we get Zuckerberg buying
That's already
the billion?
home. I just haven't made it back in a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's where the heart is.
Maui. I like the Pacific Northwest. I'm all about it. Oregon, Washington, even like British Columbia. British Columbia is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. So give me wet, rainy, and green. I'm there. Yeah.
New Zealand, it rains every day.
Oh, there it is.
It's also sunny and cloudy.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
They make a joke over there about how it goes through all seasons in one day.
And we don't even get fall here. Like, we skip seasons.
Arizona's rough for that. Yeah.
All right. Question for you, Hiroko. What kind of character do you think Micheal would be in D&D?
If Micheal stepped into it, or what he would play?
Both. If Micheal steps into the realm, what is he?
If Micheal steps into the realm, I would say he is a lore keeper.
Ooh.
Because he's relatively quiet most of the time, but you ask him a question about a game, and all of a sudden you have all the information.
That's very true. Yeah. And
Do
then
they have lizardmen?
Yeah.
Oh, you can play a lizardman?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Guess you're playing, bro.
Yep. 100%.
Lizardman, lore keeper.
and
that
then
speaks Nahuatl.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I have to make sure I know magic, and that's about
Ooh.
it.
Yeah, you'd be a magic user for sure.
Dude, why do I have to go punch someone? Hell no. Fireball. Boom. Look at that. Done.
Reach that high shelf? No, magic.
Yeah. That's rad. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Hiroko, is there anything else anything else you want to end with here?
Come join us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're always accepting new players. We do legit have really good people here who will accept you for who you are.
That's the funk, and we love it. And thank you for being who you are. Appreciate you. Cool. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Micheal. Thank you guys for listening to us. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I love being here. Thank you guys to all of you for listening to us and listening to our gabbing. And Hiroko for the words of wisdom and love. Appreciate you. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
All righty.
Dig it.
Boom.
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 Thank you for listening to the Funkatronic Rex podcast. You can find more of the funk at funkatronicrex.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. If you'd like to support us and the shop, please join us on Patreon by becoming a patron of the funk. If you're in the Phoenix area, please swing by. Come check us out. We would love to meet you and get a game in. You can also reach us by sending an email to shop@funkatronicrex.com. Stay up, stay true, and don't forget, stay funky. Most podcasts do not go past 7 episodes. Many of them fail just after 7. They hit the wall. They don't know what to talk about. They wrap up in 7 like it's a one-off, and that's it. But 7 is the average of failure for most podcasts. So
that's a benefit for you guys. Like,
so is that to say for the 8th episode? All right, guys, we did it. We're done. It was fun while it lasted.
No, then we're just gonna have the Sammytronic Rex podcast. It's just Sammy and a microphone.
Terrifying.